everybody, welcome to the Couch Pilates workout for women over 50 like me. So today you're gonna just need your couch and have a dumbbell. If you don't have any dumbbells or weights at home, get creative. Use a bottle of water. Just make sure it's a closed bottle that won't leak all over, or get creative. And know that not all exercises are appropriate for every body. So make sure you talk with your doctor and your trainer to make sure it's an appropriate workout for you before you do it. Okay? So with that said, this is all you're gonna need, and we will do a Pilates workout. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm gonna have you do is sit tall. And if you sit tall and your knee is higher than the hip, then I want you to walk the feet out so that the knee is in line with the hip and the thighs are parallel. Think if there was a string attached to the top of your head, somebody pulling that string up. So could you grow a little bit taller, visualizing space between the vertebrae, and then let's just kind of go through our checkpoints. Ear in line with the shoulder. You're locking the shoulders in the socket a little bit. Open chest, slight pinch of the shoulder blades, lengthen the sides of the waist, and then I want you to pull the abs in, think 4 inches below the belly button, and you're pulling those pelvic floor muscles up, okay? So think like stopping your pee, think of sucking a blueberry up a straw, whatever your visual is, you take it. And then what I like to do, if feet flat feels a little weird for you, you can dig the heels down instead, and that's fine. But you are at the end of your couch, you feel strong and stable, and you feel like you're able to hold this position for the workout. So with the abs in, you wanna think contracted but tall, and you wanna think 20%, 30% out of 100. So it's not 100% unless if I say, you're just thinking you're able to breathe, you're able to talk, but everything is contracted. So while you're here, I just want you to do some pelvic floor strengtheners. So you're just gonna be pulling those pelvic floor muscles up and holding for 3, 2, 1, and then release. And then do it again. Pull up and hold for 3, 2, 1, release. And again, pull up, hold 3, 2, 1, release. It takes practice, and the more you do it, the better you get at it, okay? So pull up again, hold 3, 2, 1, release, and pull up 3, 2, 1, release. How about 3 more? Pull up 3, 2, 1, release. Pull up 3, 2, 1, release. And one more time, pull up 3, 2, 1, release. So now we're gonna do a Pilates 100 pump. So we're gonna be pumping our arms strong, and you're fighting your body from moving. So you don't wanna be bouncing your body, you're gonna hold your body as still as you can. So go through those checkpoints again. You're tall, and the shoulders are kind of locked in the socket. And then if you feel like you want more, you're tall right now. Do you want more? Do you want to lean back? And as you lean back, you may feel the back and the core engage a little bit more. I'm gonna give you another option, but it is optional. You can straighten one leg out, but when you straighten the leg out, look at it. Does it move around a lot? You wanna keep it as still as you can. And now you're doing a smooth breath in, smooth breath out. Switch legs if you have one leg out. Smooth breath in, smooth breath out. Fight the body from bouncing. Can you pull the abs in tighter? And then do a couple more breaths. Inhale, smooth. Exhale, smooth. We all breathe at different paces, so really breathe at your own pace. Inhale again, and exhale. Grow tall. And now we're going to do, it's like a roll down. You need to pull your abs in 100% right now. And now I want you to think if you were to get punched in the stomach, you're gonna pull in as much as you can, and you're starting to roll down. So tuck the pelvis a little bit, roll it down, and then think about pulling the ribs down, lift up, and then you're actually gonna come up tall here. So I want you to think about this. You dive into your shirt, the ribs come down in towards the hips, then you start to lean back. and your abs are in 4 inches below the belly button, then come forward, and it's like you're trying to dive in even tighter and then come up tall. So listen to your body, go at your own pace. I like to inhale, prep, and then exhale. I inhale, prep again, and then I exhale, dive into the shirt, and then come up. Okay, do it. Inhale, exhale, dive into your shirt. You decide how far back to go, okay? And then do that again. Inhale, prep, and then exhale, dive into your shirt a little bit more as you come up, and then lift. It's easy to do this and not really feel it. So you need to really, really think deep core muscles. Inhale, prep, exhale, dive into your shirt, lift up. Can you do one more time? Inhale, prep, exhale, and I'm digging my heels down into the ground, not letting my heels kick up. Dive into your shirt, grow tall. Let's do a little bit of spine mobility here. So again, you're nice and tall, feet are flat, and we'll do a little spine articulation. Really root your hips down, and you're doing circles with the ribs. So maybe you start small. Maybe your circle is the size of a golf ball, then maybe a baseball, then a basketball. Then you make it bigger and bigger and bigger. But as you do these circles, I need you to feel yourself rooted down into the couch. So just, if I'm going too fast, go slower. As I talk, I tend to speed up. So you're circling around one direction. So when I'm rotating to the one side, my opposite hip has to plant down a little bit more. So really think about that. Can you stay rooted down as you're doing these spine articulations? Great for spine health. Let's do the other direction. Start small, because each direction might feel drastically different. Okay, and then you make it bigger and bigger. So just doing a little bit of spine mobility now that we've kind of woken up everything with our Pilates warm-up. This is still part of the warm-up actually, but mobility is an important component of your fitness journey. You have to be able to move with flexibility. So you have to work on these things, make it bigger and bigger. And I can feel my hip lifting. I'm trying to fight it as much as possible. Hopefully my form's okay for this video. All right, a couple more. And then last one. Grow tall. And then I want you to really tilt your pelvis. So think round the pelvis as much as you can, and then arch and cat-cow basically type motion through the lower part of the hips here. So pelvic tilts, tilting your pelvis, rounding. And I like to put my hands right on my hips to really try and get that motion. Tilting. All right, and then we grow tall again. Go through those checkpoints. Let me fix my shirt here. Go through those checkpoints, shoulders kind of back and down, open chest, string attached to the top of the head, core engaged, pelvic floor muscles kind of pulling up a little bit. Now the fingertips can tent down and extend the legs out a little bit, dig your heels down. Now we're gonna do a little march. Now, what you're gonna do first is you're gonna float one leg up, float the leg down, and then switch, float up, float down. Don't let your body move at all. And then if we want to work with less of the couch, then we're going to lift the arms up. Do we want to work against gravity? Do you want to lean back a little bit more? And I like to then pray, but whatever, bring my fingertips together. And I'm still trying to pinch my shoulder blades a little bit, and I'm breathing. Then if you want this harder, it's going to be both legs up. So tilt back, abs pulled in 150%, pull in tight, and then can you tap down? But if the answer's no for you, that's okay. Stick with what you are successful with good form. So you still have that open chest. You're thinking of that neutral spine position where you're nice and strong. And I'm tapping down and coming up, tapping down and coming up. A couple more reps here. And last one. and then growing tall, boom. So now we're gonna start to do a V-sit, still working in that V position. So first what I want you to do is just sit tall, body awareness, pulling everything in, and then lifting the arms up and down. So maybe this is where you are at today and you're here. So when I raise my arms up, I'm trying to still kind of lock the shoulders in the socket. If you end up raising the shoulders, I'm okay with it, but could you try to fight it? Only because I really want you to focus on everything staying still between your hips and your shoulders. We're working that core stabilization. So lifting and lowering, then maybe you lean back a little bit. Now pull those abs in though, and you shouldn't feel like you're compromising with that form at all. And then again, you're still trying to bring those arms up and down. What about one leg up? Breathe into it. Switch legs, see how you do. Look at the leg, you want it to stay as still as possible. And then it's gonna be both legs up. I'm gonna glue my legs together, lift and down. This is a challenge, this is tough. So decide if this is for you today. If it's not, that's okay. There's always ways, basically, I'm just trying to show you, there's always ways to make these exercises harder. Okay, last two. Good form. I'm starting to fight it here. So I'm gonna put my legs down, and last one. All right, so then from here, take a little break, a little shimmy. And then we're gonna grow tall again, and we're doing a twist and reach. So this is about staying tall in your body. So really think, string attached to the top of the head and somebody pulling that string up. So you don't want to pull up so much that you're flaring your rib cage though. So here you're pulling the abs in, but at the same time, there's a pinch of the shoulder blades, okay? That is your starting point with the pelvic floor muscles pulling up, abs in about 30% out of 100, and then maybe the arms come to the temples here. And if you feel like this raises the shoulders, then bring the arms down by your side a little bit. But I'm gonna be here, okay? So I'm gonna lock the shoulders in the socket. I'm doing a slight pinch of the shoulder blades. Now I'm gonna twist. Now when I twist, I wanna root both of my hip bones down. Now I'm gonna open the arms and then bend, and then think about using the obliques to come back to center. So use the sides of the waist, center. Twist as much as you can. We will all look different here. And then reach the arms wall to wall, bend the elbows, and then go center. And then do that again, little twist and reach. Think if you were moving through mud or molasses, what would that be like? What would that feel like? You really want to think purposeful with those motions. And reach and bend and center. So you're really working through the spinal erectors in your back to hold yourself tall. This is great for posture. And then we're adding this rotation, external obliques, reach, center, here, and twist, and reach, and bend, and center, and one more time each way. Best one yet. So you can keep twisting more and more, but as you twist, do you feel yourself wanting to collapse? You gotta stay tall. Okay, last one. And then just notice if your knees move or anything. You wanna try and keep those legs as still as you can. And then center. And then we're going into a seated side bend. So with our side bend, you can have the arms down and just start to reach. I'm gonna scoot forward a little more. You can start to reach down. So I shared this in my 5-minute couch core workout as well. So you can do this. Otherwise, you can start to reach the arm overhead to make it a little bigger. So now we're hitting into the internal obliques and doing this lateral flexion side to side. So I wanna give you another option on how to do this. So what you're gonna do is have the arms here. You do a little side bend, like I'm trying to bring my elbow into my hip. Then I'm gonna shoot the arms out, but I'm anchoring this opposite hip down. Bend the elbows, come up to center, go to the other side. Flexion, reach, here, and come up. But decide, do you need to stay a little smaller with it? We're all gonna be at different points and what works for us. So again, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna reach, I'm gonna flex in, and then I'm gonna reach, bend the elbows, come up, and here, and reach, bend, come up, do it again, side. But I'm anchoring the hips down, and as I do this, I'm not rounding my back. Okay, so there is still a slight pinch of the shoulder blades, open chest, breathing. But again, if it needs to be conservative, where you're only going, if you're thinking like a clock, you have 12 o'clock, maybe you're going to 11 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock. And then maybe you start to make it bigger. Control it though. Breathe into it. And then maybe you start to make it bigger. One more each way, make it good. Last one. Okay, so not all these exercises are seated. I am going to stand for part of this, and so if you need to skip ahead to the next section, look in the description and I will put the next part that is seated in the description, okay? So we're gonna go seated, standing, side lying, and then back to seated, okay? Going into our standing section here. So I'm gonna have you start with your feet wider than your hips, and even wider than shoulders if you like, with the toes out a little bit. Just think the knees and the toes are in the same line. Now, walk your feet in so that you can actually push yourself up to your feet. So you're here, and I'm starting so slow because I really want you to think about your form. So core is engaged, lock the shoulders in the socket, shift your weight to your feet, and at the same time, you're pushing your hands off of the couch to come up. Come up, drive through your whole foot and squeeze your glutes. Now think, this is an active position. You don't want to lock the knees out, but they're straight. Squeeze the glutes, lengthen the sides of the waist, shoulders back and down, and then all you're going to do is go back down, same thing. Down, and then again. Core is engaged, shift to your feet and push off. So if you want to stay with that, stay with that. Otherwise, your next level is to take your hands away. Same thing, shift to your feet, squeeze the glutes, come all the way up, and then come all the way down with control. And if you get to a point with your hands away that it's just too much on your knees, on your hips, you gotta root the legs down and you gotta drive those hips back. That is important. But if you need to just come down a little bit and come up, do that. And I want you to think, you don't want your back to arch. You gotta pull the abs in, everything is lengthened, down, and then come up, okay? So if you wanna start doing some half squats here, there's always options. And then down, okay? And then decide your foot position. Do you wanna bring the feet in more? Do you want them wider? You choose. Just doing some little squats here. Squats are great, they work everything. Yes, they work the quadriceps and the around the knee, help to strengthen the knee. They work through the inner and outer thighs because you're stabilizing that knee, squeezing your glutes. We hit everything. I do love squats. They are a necessary exercise. You have to be able to, because we have to be able to sit down and stand up our whole life until we can't, right? And from here, and always practice gratitude for what your body can do today. That is what's important. Okay, last one right here. Coming all the way up, up, squeeze your glutes. And now I want you to think about that strong, stable stance. All you're gonna do is you're gonna shift your weight to your, I'll say left leg, and then you're gonna lift the right leg up. So you're just tapping up and down. Now, I don't want you to lift so high that you are starting to move your upper body. I just want you to stay tall. And then think about this. When you lift the leg, I want you to reach it out. Lengthen it as long as you can and come down. Adding a little balance in here with our leg lift. I think that's about 5. So let's do 3 more. 7, and 8, and then shift over the other leg, same thing, reach it long, and then lift and down. You're not lifting so high that you're compromising the upper body, you're keeping still, and you're breathing. And I didn't count, so we'll see how this goes. Do about 4 more, and 3, lengthen the leg, 2, and 1, and then shift over to the opposite leg. We're doing passe. So again, nice and tall, that you have a stable stance with that balanced leg, and then you rotate your right leg to a 45, you pull that knee up, and you stay tall through the chest. So keep that chest open. You're gonna kick the leg out and then zip the leg together, okay? So it's knee, kick, and down. And we will all look different. If you can kick your leg up higher than me, you do it, do it, do it, do it. And this really shows our dynamic flexibility and our strength through our core. So it's really not what the leg is doing, it's what our hips to head are doing. You wanna keep everything as still as possible. Think of your internal ballerina coming out. Last one right here. And let's go ahead and switch sides, same thing. Shift, rotate that knee to a 45, squeeze your glute on that standing leg and have that be your focus. Pull the knee up, lengthen the leg out, and then zip the leg. So I'm kind of pointing my toe, and then I flex. Let me find my balance here. Knee, kick, and down. Slight pinch of the shoulder blades. Now I'm going through my checkpoints to make sure that I keep my balance. My foot is planted, and I'm gonna let my foot move because I am balancing. And let's do a few more. Make them good. You don't have to have shoes on. You can have shoes off. And last one right here. Boom, boom, and down. And then we've got Pilates leg circle. Let's do it from behind. So turn yourself around, then shift over to the leg, and then you're going to a back 45. Now you don't want to do this where you feel like you're arching your back. So pull the abs in and then trace the shape of a circle with your foot. Here we go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then switch legs, same thing. Here we go, lengthen that leg out, pull the abs in. 4, 3, 2, 1, switch direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So from there, then we will do a little bit of scapular retraction. You're gonna lean forward, knees bent. Now, if you don't want to, you can go in a wide stance here. You can also go staggered stance, and we're just bringing those arms up. So from here, we're just gonna pinch the shoulder blades and then come down. Think about it, pinch the shoulder blades and down. Really focus, pinch. So try to contract, feeling the rhomboids, and then down. Pinch and down. Another option is to add one weight and down, switch to the other hand and down. You want that back to be straight though. So if you need a wider stance, if you want to be on a surface and leaning forward this way, you can do it that way as well. Just decide what works for you. Keeping the core engaged, and I'm taking both hands out, trying to bring those arms up as high as I can, working my back, working the postural muscles. This helps to pull those shoulders back, keep us tall and strong. Keep going. Let's do like 3 more each way. Think about it, be purposeful. So really go at your own pace. Gotta make sure my back is straight here. And so depending on your flexibility, if you want to lean even further forward, you can choose it. I don't want my ribs to flare, but okay, here we go. Last 2 and last 1. All right, and then I'm going to put that down. Now we're going to be going into a side lying leg lift. If that doesn't work for you, you can stand and do the leg lift still, or skip to the next section where we're back to a seated position. So extend the leg out, and you're on your side. Now here's the deal especially if you have a soft couch like I do, I'm gonna try and lift out of my rib cage, that bottom rib cage, so that everything stays still, right? So we want our spine to still be in a neutral position. So think if there were nails coming out of your couch that you don't want to touch, you're just thinking of lifting as much as you can. If you need to have your arm down by your side a little more, do it. If you need a pillow for your head, grab it. It's all good. And you decide if your head is down or if your head is up, doesn't matter, but I want you to kind of lift out of that rib cage, and so that you're thinking about the length. Now, all I'm doing is I'm gonna be lifting this leg and lowering. I'm not lifting so high that I'm compromising and flexing laterally through my waist. I just wanna think about the length of the leg, reaching it as long as possible. I think that's 4. 5, let's do 5 more, okay? 5, 4, 3, and 2. Hold this one up. Now, reach the leg even longer. Can you pulse? 8, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's do the other side. Same thing. Bending the bottom leg, straighten out the top leg, lifting out of the rib cage, and lengthen, 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 and then lift and down. I'm trying to create as much length as I can. Breathing, breathing. Keep that leg long. And I'm showing you one set. You can always repeat it, do another set, okay? I didn't count, so we'll do 4 more reps. I think that should be good. Hopefully it is. And 3. Here's 2, long leg. How long can you make it? 1, little pulses up. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, long leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then push yourself up, little hit, whoop, turn, feet flat. Try to get yourself balanced. Hopefully your couch isn't too crazy and tilted. So here, ribs down, squeeze the glutes, lift, and down. And how about 5 more, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it, and then little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lift yourself up. If you want to repeat and do the standing squat section and the slaying section again, go into the description, click it, and you can repeat it one more time. Otherwise, we're back in a seated position here. We've got our one weight or our water bottle. We're gonna bring the legs together. So same thing though, if this drives the knees up higher than the hip, walk the feet out, grow tall. And now all we're doing is we are shifting our weight hand to hand. And we wanna keep our body as still as possible as we do that. And then we're gonna keep going. You can go harder with that weight transfer, you know, like really try to chuck it hand to hand, catch it though. And then the other thing you can do is lean back a little bit more, okay? What about bringing one leg up? Opposite leg up. And then if you wanna bring knees up and keep going. Hopefully this isn't too loud. All right, do 10, 9, 8, 7, I'm really just counting, okay, 6, 5, stay as still as possible, that's your focus. It's this core stabilization while the weight is trying to throw you out of alignment. 4, 3, 2, 1. You've got your weight. Press into the weight like if it was a medicine ball. If you have a medicine ball, you can grab it. Now we're gonna be circling around our head. If you don't have the flexibility to do that, just do the start of it. Like you're gonna chuck it over your shoulder, chuck it over your shoulder. Otherwise you're circling around. And can you do it without flaring your ribs up? Can you keep the ribs down like if I were to punch you in the stomach? Pull everything in tight. Press your hands hard into your weight or into your water bottle. So I'm circling around one direction, now I'm gonna go the other way. But again, you don't wanna like shrug your shoulders. You wanna be able to kind of keep the shoulders down a little bit there. And you're just focusing on the strength through the core, keeping everything still, breathing, or chuck over your shoulder, chuck over your shoulder. But again, have it be a weight. That's a challenge for you. And go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then from here, side lateral raise. Lift up, come down. 3, 4, 5. So we're working through the shoulder here. So think about contracting the shoulder, and that's how you're bringing the arm up. The other thing I try to do is I try to reach my arm to the wall as much as I can without shrugging. I'm trying to keep the shoulder kind of locked in the socket there. I did not count. Let's hope that's about 10. Let's switch. Opposite hand, same thing. Lift and down. Reach to the wall. Try to create that length. Breathe into it. And honestly, you know, you can kind of tilt your pinky up a little. And if you are reaching to that wall, like you should be able to feel it even almost without the weight, just the weight of your arms, just because you're really focused on creating as much length as possible. Okay, last 2 and last 1. Tricep overhead extension, bending the, watch your head please, but you're gonna bend and straighten. Maybe you hold your arm. And if you don't have the flexibility through the shoulder joint to hold your arm up, maybe you're laying down on the couch again. I'll just show you real quick. Maybe you're laying down with the elbow up and you straighten the arm up and down. Watch your head though, don't hit your head. So you could do it that way as well. So tricep, back of the arm, straighten it out. Straighten out the elbow. That is how you are hitting that tricep. Squeeze it tight at the top, squeeze. Think about it. And squeeze, and then switch, opposite arm. Do you need to hold the arm? Feel free. So all you're doing is thinking of straightening the elbow, dropping it down, and again, laying down if you need it. If the weight is too heavy, then use both hands, straighten up, and then pressing into the weight a little bit as I do that. So you can do it that way as well. Okay, do about 5 more. I think that'll be about even. And 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Putting that down, let's do some stretching. So hamstring stretch first. We're gonna reach the heel out, and then you're having your opposite leg bent, have it flat, so that you can start to lean forward and rest your arm on the hand. Maybe you reach towards your toe, maybe your hand stays on your shin, maybe, or your knee. Maybe you start to lean forward a little bit more with an open chest, or maybe you turn and you have your leg up on the couch and then lean forward. You can have the tailbone tucked a little bit, but create that length through the sides of the waist as you do it. Take a nice deep breath in, blow out. All right, let's stretch out the other side. Same thing, we're holding about 20-30 seconds here. Reach the leg long, and then decide if your hand's on this opposite leg here. Are you leaning forward? Do you want to put your foot up on the couch? So what I'm thinking is, I'm almost thinking like my tailbone's trying to push away and I'm reaching through the heel. So I really want to feel the back side of the whole leg there. Take a deep breath in, not forcing. This should feel good. You should be able to breathe into it. If your breathing gets shallow, it's a little too deep. Okay, take a deep breath in, blow it out. And now we're gonna do hip stretch. So depending on your flexibility, you can cross ankle over ankle, ankle to ankle, rotating the knee out. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. Maybe you straighten out this opposite leg so you can start to slide the opposite leg up. Once you get to the knee, you gotta come up over the knee though. Maybe you're holding here, maybe you're bending your bottom leg, maybe you have your hands behind you for support. And what I don't want is you to collapse back though. I want you to stay tall. And then if you want to start to lean forward, you can. Whatever works for you for feeling that stretch through the hip. The other thing is, could you flex your foot just to help protect the knee a little bit more? Work within your range of motion, never forcing, make sure it feels good. When I have my hips replaced, I was here, or I would have my leg out and then drive the knee out like that. So if that feels better to you to have your feet wider, take it. Okay, switching sides, same thing. Decide where you need to be. Just don't go right on top of the kneecap there. I'm gonna bend my leg, maybe hands behind, maybe leaning forward. What do you need today? Foot flexed. Taking a deep breath in, blowing out. And be proud of yourself for showing up today. We did a lot of core stability and strengthening, a little mobility with that as well. So be proud of yourself for doing the work. And it's just about finding that consistency and getting consistent with your workouts. Finding the fun in your workouts, doing things that you enjoy. Twist is next. And so again, I'm not gonna have my knees higher than the hips. Grow tall and twist. So I'm gonna just take my hand maybe on the thigh at first, maybe the outside of the thigh. You decide what you need. Do you wanna put your hand on the couch? Go for it. And really let your chest be your guide. Don't have your head and your arms be your guide. You just wanna think, how much can I rotate, and then hold here, and then breathe. So as you inhale, maybe you back away, and then as you exhale, maybe you twist into it a little bit more with rooted hips. All right, let's go to the other side, same thing. So twist, twist, twist. Where are you at? We will all look different, and maybe you have better rotation than me. Maybe you can twist further, that's great. Take a deep breath in, blow it out. And can you twist into that empty space a little more without forcing? Next one may or may not work for you. It is a quad stretch. So you could be kind of sideways on the couch here a little bit and then just try to drive the knee down as much as possible. Or you're gonna get yourself in a sideline position, grab that top leg and pull it in towards you. I just have my bottom leg bent for stability reasons, and I'm trying not to push my ribs down into the couch. I'm trying to lift out of it, and then I push my foot into my hand. And then can you keep trying to drive that knee away from you? And maybe your foot just goes on the back of the couch and you hold it there. So you just want to open up through the thigh as much as you can. And if you want to stand and do a standing quad stretch, that's fine too. And you'll work balance. So then switching sides, same thing. So maybe you turn, drop that knee down as much as you can, or flip yourself on your side, bottom leg bent for stability. Push your foot into your hand, open the chest a little bit, and think about the core engagement. Maybe your foot stays on the couch. That feels pretty good. And I'm gonna push my foot into the couch a little more to feel that quad. Hold, take a nice deep breath in, blow it out. I should have taken my shoes off, but that's okay. All right, and then from there, I'm gonna lift up, shoulder stretch. So we're going to just take the arm across. So as I take my arm across, I am still trying to lock it in the socket a little bit and then take it across. Deep breath in, blow out. Switching sides, arm comes across, pull. But as you pull, lock the shoulder in. And then a really wide stance with the legs, feel really good with it. Kind of a cat-cow motion, so you're gonna round your back, tuck the pelvis, drop your head, and then bring the arms forward. Spread through the shoulder blades as much as you can as you reach those arms out and you're tucking your pelvis, dropping your head, making a C shape with the body. And then you're gonna take the hands behind you. Maybe you interlace the fingers or just grab your hands. Maybe the hands stay on the couch, open up. Or maybe you place your hands on your back and drive the elbows back as much as possible. Big shoulder circles, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale out. Be proud of yourselves for showing up today. Nice work. Until next time, remember to like and subscribe. And if you want more couch workouts, let me know in the comments below. All right, bye.